What if I told you that the reason she stopped texting back, the reason she lost interest, the reason she moved on to someone else, had nothing to do with your looks, your money, or your status? What if the real reason was something far simpler and far more fixable than you think? Here's the truth most men will never hear. Women don't fall for faces. They don't fall for bank accounts. They fall for feelings. They fall for the man who makes them feel something so deep, so rare, so specific, that no other man has ever come close to replicating it. And that man, more often than not, wins not because of what he looks like, but because of what he says and how he says it. Now before you roll your eyes and think, here we go, another video about pickup lines, stop. This is not that. This is not about manipulation. This is not about tricks. This is about understanding human psychology at its deepest level and using that understanding to create real, lasting emotional connection. Because here's what nobody is telling you. There are 6 specific compliments hidden in plain sight that, when delivered correctly, with the right intention and the right timing, don't just make a woman smile for a second. They make her feel emotionally connected to you in a way she cannot explain. And things she cannot explain, she cannot forget. Think about that. When a woman can't explain why she keeps thinking about you, why she lights up when your name appears on her phone, why you feel different from every other man she's ever met, that's not luck. That's not coincidence. That is the power of intentional words meeting deep psychology. And here's the part that's going to sting a little. Most men are already talking. They're already throwing out compliments left and right. You're beautiful. I like your smile. You look amazing tonight. And those women are nodding, saying thank you, and forgetting those men the moment they walk away. But you, after watching this video, you're going to be different. You are going to say things that land in places other men never even knew existed. So stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you could completely change the way women experience you forever. And real quick, if you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button right now, because every single week we drop content that goes deeper than surface-level dating advice. We talk mindset. We talk psychology. We talk stoicism. This is the channel for men who are serious about mastering connection. Don't miss what's coming next. Now, before we get into the 6 compliments, I need you to understand something critical. Something that separates the men who get results from the men who stay stuck. A compliment is not just a sentence. It is a signal. It tells a woman exactly how you see her, how deeply you observe her, and what kind of man you are. When your compliment is shallow, she sees a shallow man. When your compliment is deep, intentional, and specific, she sees a man of depth, awareness, and emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is one of the most attractive qualities a man can have, period. Here's another thing. Timing and delivery matter just as much as the words themselves. A stoic man doesn't rush to speak. He observes. He listens. He waits for the right moment. And when he speaks, every word carries weight because he doesn't waste words. So as I walk you through each of these 6 compliments, I want you to think about how you deliver them. Not frantically. Not desperately. But calmly, confidently, like a man who means every single word he says. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Compliment 1. You have a kind of quiet confidence that most people spend their whole lives chasing. Stay with me here, because this one is deeper than it sounds. Most men walk up to a woman and compliment the obvious. The dress, the hair, the body. And those compliments do nothing because every other man is saying the exact same thing. But when you walk up to a woman and say, you have a kind of quiet confidence that most people spend their whole lives chasing, you've just done something most men are completely incapable of. You've seen past the surface. Here's the psychology behind this. Confidence is something every woman works on. Whether she shows it or not, she is constantly navigating a world that tells her to be smaller, quieter, less. So when a man looks at her and says, I see your strength and it's rare, something shifts inside her. She doesn't just feel flattered. She feels validated at her core. And here's what makes this compliment so powerful. It's specific. It's not generic. It doesn't apply to every woman she knows. It applies to her and only her. And that specificity is what makes it stick. But here's the brutal truth. Most men can't give this compliment because they've never actually paid attention long enough to notice it. They're too busy thinking about what to say next instead of truly observing the woman in front of them. A stoic man is different. He watches. He listens. He picks up on the energy a woman carries before he ever opens his mouth. And when he finally speaks, she knows, on a gut level, that he actually sees her. So the next time you're with a woman who carries herself with that quiet, unshakable stillness, that calm that doesn't need to announce itself, look her in the eye, let a beat of silence pass, and say it. Mean it. Watch what happens to her energy in that moment. She won't just remember the compliment. She'll remember the man who is paying close enough attention to notice. Compliment 2. The way you carry yourself tells me you've been through things that would have broken most people. Now this one. This one is dangerous. And I mean that in the best possible way. Because this compliment does something none of the others do. It acknowledges her pain without making her feel pitied. It honors her journey without making her feel exposed. And it tells her that you see not just who she is today, but what it cost her to become this person. Think about that for a second. Every woman you meet is carrying something. A past she doesn't talk about. A storm she survived quietly. A version of herself she had to bury just to keep moving forward. And most men walk right past all of that because they're only looking at what's on the surface. But when you say, the way you carry yourself tells me you've been through things that would have broken most people, you're saying something extraordinary. You're saying, I see your strength, and I respect what it was built on. Here's the psychology. Resilience is something people are deeply proud of, even when they never talk about it. It is one of the most personal, most private parts of who we are. So when someone acknowledges it, without you having to say a word, it creates an instant and profound emotional bond. And here's where the stoic angle comes in. A stoic man understands that strength is forged through struggle. He doesn't run from difficulty. He faces it. And when he recognizes that same quality in a woman, he doesn't just admire it. He respects it. Deeply. Now, a word of warning. This compliment must be delivered with sincerity. If it feels scripted, it falls flat. But if it comes from a place of genuine observation, genuine respect, it will hit her like nothing she's ever heard. Because most men want a woman who has it together. But a rare man honors the fact that having it together wasn't free. It cost her something. And acknowledging that cost, that's what separates the forgettable from the unforgettable. Compliment 3. Talking to you genuinely makes me think differently. That doesn't happen often. Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone told you that your mind changed theirs? That your perspective opened a door they didn't even know was closed? If it's happened to you, you know exactly how powerful that feels. And if it hasn't, then you understand why this compliment is about to become one of the most impactful things you can say to a woman. Here's the truth. Women are complimented on how they look constantly. Everywhere they go. Every day. And while they appreciate it on some level, it becomes noise over time. Background noise. Predictable. Forgettable. But when a man looks at a woman and says, "You make me think differently," that doesn't happen often. The game changes entirely. Because now you're not complimenting her appearance. You're complimenting her mind. And her mind is the part of her that she has worked on, wrestled with, and refined her entire life. It's the part most men never bother to explore. Here's the psychology behind this. When you tell someone that they've genuinely influenced your thinking, you're giving them intellectual significance. You're saying your ideas matter. Your perspective has weight. And that kind of recognition creates a bond that physical attraction alone can never build. From a stoic standpoint, this is everything. The stoic man values wisdom above all else. He is always in pursuit of better thinking, deeper understanding, clearer vision. So when he meets a woman who genuinely challenges his perspective, he doesn't hide that. He honors it. Because in the stoic world, there is no greater compliment than telling someone, "You made me think." And here's what happens when you say this. She doesn't just feel attractive. She feels significant. She feels like a partner in thought, not just a face across the table. And that, my friend, is the beginning of something that goes far beyond surface-level attraction. Say it. Mean it. and then sit back and watch her open up in ways she never has with anyone else. Compliment 4. You have this rare ability to make people around you feel like they actually matter. Pay close attention here because this compliment operates on a completely different level than anything most men have ever considered. We live in a world where people are more connected than ever and yet more invisible than ever. Everyone is talking. Nobody is truly listening. Everyone is posting. Nobody is truly present. And in that environment, the person who makes others feel genuinely seen and valued is not just rare. They're priceless. So when you tell a woman, you have this rare ability to make people around you feel like they actually matter, you're not just giving her a compliment. You're holding up a mirror and showing her something beautiful about herself that she may not have even fully recognized. Here's why this hits so deep. Most of the time, the woman who makes everyone else feel valued is so busy pouring into others that nobody pours back into her. She's the one who remembers birthdays, checks in on friends, listens without judgment. And yet, almost nobody stops to acknowledge it. Almost nobody says, "Hey, I see what you do, and it matters." Until you do. And when you do, when you say it calmly, sincerely, without any agenda behind it, something unlocks in her. Because you just gave her what she's been quietly giving to everyone else. You made her feel seen. The Stoic philosophy speaks deeply to this. The Stoics taught that the highest form of human virtue is service, not self-promotion. Living for something beyond yourself. Contributing to the world around you. And when you recognize that quality in her, you're not just complimenting her personality. You're honoring her character. And character, unlike looks, never fades. It deepens with time. So when you meet a woman like this, don't let the moment pass. Don't assume she knows how rare she is. Tell her. Look her in the eye and tell her. Because the woman who makes everyone feel valued deserves, more than anyone, to feel valued herself. Compliment 5. There's a depth to you that I don't think most people take the time to discover. This one right here. This is the one that will stay with her at 2 a.m. when the room is quiet and her mind starts to wander. Because what you're saying with this compliment is not just, "I find you interesting." What you're really saying is, most people have been too lazy, too shallow, or too distracted to truly know you. But I'm not most people. And that, in a world full of men who skim the surface, is an extraordinarily powerful thing to hear. Here's the psychology. Every person on this planet has layers. Experiences, fears, dreams, contradictions, hidden depths that most people never get to see because most people never bother to look. And for a woman who is deep, who thinks deeply, feels deeply, lives deeply, going through life with people only ever scratching the surface is quietly exhausting. So when a man comes along and says, "I see that there's more to you than what you show the world," she doesn't just feel complimented. She feels understood. And feeling understood is one of the most powerful emotional experiences a human being can have. Here's the Stoic angle. A Stoic man is not interested in what's easy or obvious. He digs. He reflects. He values substance over spectacle. So when he senses depth in a woman, he doesn't just note it privately. He names it. He honors it. Because depth recognizes depth. Now here's what I need you to understand about delivery. This compliment cannot be rushed. It cannot be thrown out casually mid-conversation like a throwaway line. It needs to be said in a quiet moment, a real moment, where the two of you have actually connected beyond small talk and you genuinely mean every word. When it lands in that space, it doesn't just make her feel seen. It makes her feel like, for the first time in a long time, someone actually stayed long enough to find out who she really is. And she will never forget that feeling. Or the man who gave it to her. Compliment 6. You remind me that integrity still exists. You are genuinely, authentically good. Save this one. Because this is the one that will shake her to her core in the best possible way. In a world drowning in performance, where everyone is curating an image, playing a role, saying what they think people want to hear, genuine goodness has become almost revolutionary. And when you look a woman in the eye and say, "You remind me that integrity still exists," You are genuinely, authentically good. You are giving her something that no amount of physical flattery ever could. You are telling her that her soul is beautiful. Now let's break down why this is so psychologically powerful. Most compliments speak to what a woman has. Her looks, her style, her energy. But this compliment speaks to what she is. And what we are, at our core, is the thing we protect most fiercely and value most deeply. When you acknowledge a woman's goodness, her integrity, her authenticity, you're not just making her feel attractive. You're making her feel worthy. And worthiness is something that goes far deeper than attraction. It's the foundation of how she sees herself. Here's the brutal truth. A lot of women have been in environments where their goodness was taken advantage of, where being kind was seen as weakness, where being real was punished. So when a man comes along and says, "Your goodness is not a flaw. It's your greatest strength," something inside her exhales. Something that's been held tight for a long time finally loosens. The Stoics believed above everything else in virtue. In doing what is right not because it's rewarded, but because it is right. And when you recognize that same commitment in a woman, when you honor it openly and sincerely, you're not just complimenting her. You're meeting her at the level of her values. And a connection built at the level of values is not something she can walk away from easily. Because it's not just attraction. It's recognition. Soul to soul. And that is the kind of connection that doesn't fade with time. That is the kind that lasts. So there you have it. 6 hidden compliments that go far beyond surface-level flattery. 6 ways to make a woman feel seen, honored, and emotionally connected to you in ways she cannot explain and will never forget. But remember this. Words without intention are just noise. What makes these compliments powerful is not just the words themselves. It's the awareness behind them. The observation. The patience. The genuine desire to see her, truly see her, before you speak. That is the Stoic way. That is the way of a man who understands that real attraction is built not in a moment, but over time, one intentional word at a time. If you apply even one of these today, you will feel the shift. She will feel the shift. Thank you so much for staying with me through this exploration. If you found value in today's discussion, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who might benefit from it.